council tax is notoriously high on a national level. What justifies this, and do residents receive value for their money?
Well, Kingston's council tax is the highest in London and one of the highest in the country. I don't think that's acceptable, and I wouldn't like you to think that I did, but our Conservative administration, the first thing it's done has been to freeze council tax. Unlike other parts of London, council tax has not gone up. And obviously, as a Conservative administration, in the long run, we'd like to cut council tax, but at the moment, with grants from central government reducing and the number of services we have to provide, not reducing in any way, it hasn't been possible to make a cut yet. Do I think residents get value for money? I think the new Conservative administration is trying very hard to make sure that they do get value for money, and that whilst we pay the highest council tax in London, people get the best quality services, but it takes a long time to bring about change, and they've been in power for less than a year, so watch this space.
Well, I'm a resident here, and I don't like paying enormously high council tax. We actually don't think council tax is that progressive. You have lots of people with different ranges of incomes paying, extortionate amounts of money in some cases, and it is very expensive in Kingston, as you said. We'd actually do away with council tax. We'd replace it with a land value tax, which has numerous kind of economic benefits, but also as well it discourages people from buying up properties and leaving them empty as well. So it also ties into the housing crisis. Because when you're only paying for the value of the actual land and not anything that's built on it, that kind of gives you an incentive to actually make good use of that land, because why would you just want to be paying money on empty, useless land? Yeah. So that's actually how we would deal with council tax, is scrap it and replace it with something better. Okay.
That is a very good question indeed, yeah, that the Kingston residents pay, I think it's one of the highest council taxes in the country, and what do they get for that? I don't know. Is that good value for money? I don't think it is, actually. Labour has put a motion, it got passed a few weeks ago, to pay council staff the living wage, the London living wage, a wage they can live on. Now, I can't believe that over the past, 13 years of Liberal Democrat control of the council, we've got sky-high council tax, and they can't afford to pay their staff a wage they can live on. They can put a roof above their head and food on the table. So I don't know where this money's going. And they've argued against that as well. They argued against paying their staff minimum wage. Well, with that amount of council tax, you should be able to pay a living wage, and should be able to keep the streets cleaned, and should be able to supply police onto the streets as well to combat these social problems as well. So I think there needs to be a lot of investigation into how that money's being spent.
Okay, so with regard to council taxes in Kingston, I mean, the idea of having a progressive tax system is that the wealthier individuals are taxed more. But we support a fully funded benefits system, and in order to fund that, we do need to put some taxes on people. We're not interested in raising council taxes. What we really want to do is to fund the welfare system, fund the NHS, through not just progressive taxation, but looking at where is the money in society. So one of the reasons why things are being cut now is that the main party is saying, well, the money isn't there. And I think it's fair to say that you know, and I know, and everyone else knows that there is money in this country, and what we really need to do is look at who's controlling that wealth. And wealth is not just concentrated in the hands of rich individuals, it's concentrated in the hands of corporations, and it's concentrated in lining the pockets of bankers in the forms of their bonuses, and just sitting around in bank accounts, and they've been reprimanded by the IMF for not reinvesting this money. And this wealth is being used not for the betterment of society, but really against the betterment of society. And what we would say is that we want to take those companies that dominate our economy, and the banks that dominate our economy, and take them under public ownership, take them under democratic control, and make sure that that wealth can be used to fund our public services, and to be used for the good of everyone, and not just for the good of the 1% at the top of society.